everybody, this is Christine Bertram, and I'm coming to you live from the mini hive here in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. I am upstairs in my craft room doing this live because we are definitely dual purposing the premises today. Gina is downstairs doing a 4th of July bingo with, I think she has about 6 people with her. So oh, it was so awesome. She took, I haven't done bingo for a little while. I usually do 6 in-person bingos a year, and I haven't done one since August of last year. I missed Halloween, I missed the New Year bingo, and I missed Valentine's Day, Easter, and now we're back on track. So I spoke with Gina about a month ago, and I said, I just haven't had the bandwidth to do my in-person bingos, and I asked Gina if she would want to do them. So she is substitute teaching for me. Yay! And she's got an awesome 4th of July bingo. I wish I could show you the cards because I'm pretty sure they're amazing. Now, I think she's going to be dual purposing her cards. She's going to, if you're going to create a card for a class, it'd be awesome if you can use it for 2 classes, right? Especially if one's in-person only and the other one is pretty much online only. So I think she was going to feature these as her class that she was going to do yesterday. Is today Thursday? She was going to have class, I think, yesterday, and she was under the weather yesterday. So I think that's what her plan is, but I'm not quite certain. I don't always know everything that's going on with everybody else, but we're here because Gina's downstairs, which is awesome. I did get a little notice saying that the connectivity isn't as strong where I am up here as it is down in the hive. When I'm down in the hive, I am right next to my router, and here I'm not next to my router. I'm actually on one edge of the house and the router's in the middle of the house. So it did tell me I needed to adjust some settings on the camera, which I did, and then it let me go live because it wasn't going to let me go live before I changed the settings. So fingers crossed, and that's how it goes. So I keep finding this stamp and it keeps falling off, and here I thought my grandma was playing tricks on me because I didn't think it had the ability to fall off when it was flat. So I've put it on here 5 times in the last 30 minutes. So hello everybody. We have Sherry Martin and Donna Palazzola is here, and Mary Carls, yay, she's and Stamping Friends from Jericho, Wisconsin. And the day has been good, you guys. We got some designing done today. Hi, Jamie Kirkpatrick. Hi, Susan Bellamy. There's Carolyn Ketchmark. Hi, Randy Schulz. And there's Nancy Mole and Lynn Beasley. Hi, Sherry Stewart and Cindy Rentry. There's Pat Smothers, Judy Sharp, and Sarah Merchant. Hello, she got her kit in the nick of time. Hi, Deb Norman. Yay, you're able to catch a live. That's awesome. I haven't seen you on here for a little while. Faye Godby is here. Hi, Mary Lemke. And Sarah Mitchell. Yay. And Maria Gilbertson. Hi, Maria. And what just, all right, I think I caught everybody. So we do have an ink, paper, scissors that we're going to do for you tonight. It is the Cheerful Sips ink, paper, scissors. And what I'll do first off the bat is roll call. Let's get the roll call done. And it's very possible that if you've reached out to me in the last maybe week, you'll have to let me know. I should have a pen somewhere here. You know what? I have a pen down here. One moment, please. Gotta get a pen out here, just in case I need to make some notes. Okay, all good. Back on track. Hi, Barbara Godby. Hi, Penny Powell, my sunshine friend. So I do show that I have about 4 spots of this class left. Now, if I miss saying somebody's name in the class sign up here, or the roll call, just let me know. I still have kits available. We don't need to necessarily figure out how or why that happened. It just happens. Not often. And sometimes people think they signed up and then they didn't sign up too. So that always happens. So just know I do the roll call to say thank you to everybody who takes this class with me, or takes classes in general with me. I really appreciate your support of my small business. Without you guys taking these kitted classes from me, if I didn't have people taking classes with me, I don't know if I'd be able to do all the lives I do and keep you guys making and creating like we currently do. So I do appreciate everybody's support of my crazy small business, crazy in a good way small business. So we did kit up, let's see here, 80 for this class, which is really good, knowing that we have less than 4 left. Diane had 10 people in person last night, which was great. That's a lot for an ink, paper, scissors, especially when everybody has to do their own cutting in class. So cutting of the designer series paper. And we have so far, I have in my notes 66 signed up, which leaves 4, which is pretty good. Pretty good forecasting on that one. First on our list, we have Mary Jo Stoll, and then Connie Moore, Julie Bierschbach, Frances Rodriguez, Sarah Merchant, Donna Grushke, Carrie White, Lisa Klotz. So this is Lisa's first time taking a class with me. Lisa, we still need to connect. Your kit is sitting on the counter in the mudroom. So when we have a moment, we will get together and get that to you. Gwen Simmons, Mary Lemke, Vicky Rodriguez, Julie Block, Joanne Naples, Mary Carls, Kate Weir, Barbara Rudolph, Linda Scott, Rita Steffi, Bridget Rowe, Debbie Gast, Lisa LaFramboise, Kathleen Ketterman, Faye Godby. Little herd there. Oh my gosh, did you hear her running up here? You sounded like a little cow, like herding in the pasture, honey. Faye Godby, Susan Wormley. She didn't want to miss roll call, apparently. Susan Wormley, Jeannie Parker, Rose Garibaldi, Mary Hodges, Carissa Alberts, and Angelique McClendon, Carmen Sanders, Karen Wetstein, and Annette Rollin, Elaine Reback. Elaine is double classing it tonight. She is actually in the hive right now with Gina, and she's got this class to do later on. Pat Smothers, Debbie Stone, Lynn Beasley, Trisha Fagley, what's up, honey buns? Susan Bellamy, Sherry Everett, Sandy Coy Emery, Feline Mays, Leslie McMinn, Kelly Gibson, Karen Woods, Sue Esworthy, Pat Fleming, Sherry Stewart, Debbie Lindauer, Kari Dwyer, Laura Sullivan, Sarah Mitchell, Jennifer Jones, Karen Stagg, Beth Meyer, Lori Baxter, Judy Sharp, Michelle Thorne, Donna Palazzola, Angela Knutson, Julie Bontranger, Linda Hunt, Carmen Sanders, Susie Fenlater, Chris Robinson, and Christina Bernards. Oh, you guys, that was quite the list of names. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Lots of you girls are reaching out and saying that you're here. Oh my gosh, Bigger Tigger is here as well. So you guys, I have not been home all day. Look at me being swarmed by kittens. I have 2 different tails here. So I was away all day. The cat was away, so the mice play. Or in my sense, the mouse went away and the cat played. So I went up by Jay Shante for a bit, and we were able to get some strategizing done and game planning. It was really awesome. She lent me her bundle. Her bundle is called Inspiring Imperfections. So you guys, it dawned on me last night that I was working on designing Oh, you guys. Okay. Tigger's like, did I do that? My big butt got in the way and it knocked everything off. So I realized last night that I did not have the bundle. I thought I had Inspiring Imperfections, and I was going to use that for designing for the suite class, which is coming up next month. Well, Jay Shante to the rescue. And we mapped and we strategized, and it was awesome. We got cards figured out, and I have 4 beautiful kintsugi, what's it called? Kintsugi something. That's the Japanese broken pottery glass. And then on top of it, she sent her bundle home with me so that I had the dies so that my die cutter, my helpers could start working on stuff. Oh, lifesaver, you guys. So pretty excited about that. Where Tigger was sitting was what I was going to show you for what we're going to do for the Stamp-A-Stack in August. So hi, Kenzie Kraken. Cool. Thanks for the update. Oh, perfect. Oh, you guys are helping each other. And all that interim, I got a cat for my nose. I didn't hear my name, but I had 2 ads. Yep, Mary Carls. I definitely said your name. You definitely probably had it while the ad was going on. In fact, I exactly remember where you were too. You were number 14. I remembered where you were in my book. So you were definitely on the list. And you guys, you never really have to question the roll call. If you have your kits, well, I shouldn't say that. I was going to tell you guys this. I can't quite figure out what happened. This happens from time to time, especially with the Stampin' Fun in the Sun. People were getting kits right off my back counter, and I'm very good at writing things down, but I did forget to write down somebody who got Scenic Adventures because I have 1 less kit than I have in my notes that I should have, and the June monthly class. You guys, I have one less kit. So that means that there are 2 people, one of each of those classes, and I think that it's the same person, that they wouldn't have gotten the PDF tutorial. So that's a good note. If you get the PDF tutorial, or today, you guys, Jolene has been without power from, it was Friday to Monday. They had a big storm that went through the Northeast, and they lost power on Friday, and it came back on Monday night. And so she is a little behind. She only turned on her cell phone to check for important updates or if there was emergencies. So she really did not get to the tutorial for this class, which is ink, paper, scissors. And Rose also had her class. Rose also got her class, had her class this morning. And so we didn't have a PDF for that yet. And she's still currently working on the Paper Palooza tutorial and the creative presentation tutorial. So she's got a tall order to fill yet. And all she asks is your patience, which you guys always give. Hi, Feline. You just got your box today. Wonderful. Your dog sitter brought the box in earlier today. Awesome. So Cindy said she got both of her PDFs for those classes. Yeah. So if anybody didn't get, that's where I guess I could call out. If anybody didn't get the PDF for the June monthly class or for the Scenic Adventures, that means that I don't have you written in my book, and that's fine. I want to fill the space to make myself even and also get you the PDF tutorial. So generally, if you get the PDF tutorial and you get your card kits, that means that you're on the class list. So, all right. Let's see. And Kenzie said we are having a thunderstorm now and heavy rain has started. So yeah. So we had a heavy thunderstorm Sunday evening. No, Monday. It was Monday evening, and the winds picked up. The thunder was roaring and rolling, and the cats, when we got back, they were hiding in the basement, and I felt really bad for that. But that's what thunder and lightning does to animals. They get scared. They can't understand what it is. So that'll happen. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what we've been working on. When I drop the camera down, I've got ink, paper, scissors staged in front of me so I can let you know what cards we're making. And then I know there are inquiring minds that want to know what's coming up about the showcase. I still, you guys, you're gonna roll your eyes. It's been quite hectic the last week or so, and I was hoping to have a little more time for designing this week, and we got a lot done. We got 3 classes designed last week, and we got 2 basically between yesterday and today, and there's one lonely little class left, and you're gonna be like, yup, that's the class you didn't know what to do with, and it's game night. So I have 1 class left to design, and my target is to do that tomorrow morning and get those 4 cards knocked out and do the showcase with you tomorrow afternoon later. Carissa has class in the Hive tomorrow from, I think the morning is like 10 to 1 or 10 to 12:30, and then she has class from 1 to 3. And then my goal is that as soon as she's done with her class and everybody's out of the Hive, I'll take over the filming station downstairs and I will do the July showcase. If for any reason that gets to be too late and I can't get going until 4:30, I'll have to do the showcase on Saturday morning. So stay tuned on that. There will be a YouTube live created, there will be a Facebook event created, and there will also be an event on my website created. So instead of asking me in an email, hey, did you plan the showcase? If you could just check on my Facebook page or check my website or look on YouTube for the next live, that will answer your question. If I get everybody asking me individually, that's hard. I do plan to send an email about it too. So if you guys just can wait or, just check back those different locations, that would be awesome. So Deb sent a message. Please add her to the list for the class if you have extra kits. Oh, okay, Deb. Yep. You're forgiven. Ha. Did I say I'm sorry? Mary Lemke, thanks for forgiving me. I appreciate it. So hi, Yvette. I sent an email for this class, I believe, but have not gotten word if it's still available. All right. So that means I'm pretty sure that Yvette and Deb, we can work this in for you guys. Deb Norman and Yvette Lopez. So if you guys have been emailing the cbcenroll@gmail.com, I know Carissa has had her hands full with a lot of things going on now, and I don't know if she's checking it every day or every other day or weekly or what she's actually, like how often. She's on board for after the showcase is done, she's on board for checking it daily and answering and helping me with it then. But I don't know how much she's done in the last couple weeks. She's had a few deaths in her family as well. And so it's been hard for her these last couple weeks to stay on top of that, which is understandable. Completely get it. So hello, Linda Hunt. And let's see here. Think if there's anybody else, I'm pretty sure that if you've previously sent an email that we're good, we would have gotten to it eventually. You can tell me on the live and I'll make sure we get your name on the list. But I think that I still have potentially 2 left for somebody that maybe has already requested it. So, okay, I'm gonna drop the camera down. You guys, I do have 2 little kittens here. One, you can see he's like occupying the corner, and Honey took my other chair over on the other side. All right, so in a moment, we're gonna get ready to rock and roll with the ink, paper, scissors. And I did cheat and worked ahead. I did a little pre-gaming with the drinks. I had my drinks on hand, and that's why I was a few minutes tardy. I thought it would be faster meat for me to cut these out ahead of time than it would be during the live. So if you guys want to work on something and watch while and listen while you're cutting out your drinks, you could definitely start cutting out your drinks. I know that at this moment there's not a tutorial, but what you could do is potentially take a screenshot of this, or if you have the cover photo, you could always look at the cover photo to get your drinks cut. But what I did is I had a sheet like this. This is my half, and I picked out the drinks that were on these cards. Some of these other drinks you can actually put on the inside of your card too, but for those that want to work a little bit so that you're ahead of the game for when we assemble, you could do that. So here's your opportunity to take a screenshot of that. And I'm gonna grab what Tigger knocked on the floor, big boy. Okay. Did I do that? Yes, you did, boy. Okay, so you guys should have your screenshot. Now, I don't wanna misplace any of this stuff, so I'm just gonna set these on top of each other and just move them over to the side here. So I just wanna give you guys a heads up that in the month of August, we have a Stamp-a-Stack on the docket. And what we've decided, Diane and I discussed this later last week, I think. Kenzie's gonna get some wine and have a sip. I love it every time you say drink. There you go. Drink, drink, drink. So it sounds like a fun idea, right? I bet it's a great idea. Okay. Carissa's uncle passed away, a cousin's wife passed away, and then her uncle passed away on the day of the funeral. So they had a rough last week. This is the charming day. So you guys are probably thinking, it's full of cat fur too. You're probably wondering what's up with the charming day. I've never seen that before. And what happens is there's a pre-order going right now for Demonstrators. And we got this Diane and I each got this. We got this new Charming Day bundle. It's a suite actually. And we decided that that is what we're gonna feature in August for the Stamp-a-Stack. So just keep that in mind if you're interested and you like the Stamp-a-Stacks that we do. The Stamp-a-Stack is going to include a full pack of this designer series paper, a set of this ribbon combo pack. It's the white and the misty, and it's going to include the gems. And what I'm kind of envisioning in my head is maybe 6 card designs with making 2 of each that will kit it up that you get to have 12 cards when you're done with class. All right, and I'll show you really quickly how pretty this paper is. I haven't even seen it in real life. I've only seen it from the picture. And very soft, subtle, but look at the pretty peacock on the back. Front and back, awesome, love it. And then that one, ooh, my purplicious. And the back matches, really nice, like back and forth. Here's one with some blues. This is more fallsy to me. The back side is peach, right? So that matches front and back. Nice, soft, subtle patterns on the back. Here's a great one with peaches and pumpkins with a little bit of berry. And the green is on the back, right? So it also goes front and back. I love the brightness of this one. It's misty and berry, and on the back you have misty, right? And then here's one with the pinks and the purples, and the back is your blackberry. Okay, so they really did a phenomenal job of designing this paper so that the back and the front match. So I can tell you right now, the main goal for this Stamp-a-Stack is we're going to design cards where you can see the front and the back of the paper, either on the front of the card or when you open the card up that you can see it. So the gems match perfectly. So you'll get a pack of the designer paper, a pack of the gems, and then if you noticed that the white or the blue is going to look great with the cards. And then I think we'll probably go with using these papers, each pattern, so 6 cards, and giving you the kit to do double, so having 12 cards in this class. And at this moment, we'll definitely feature the different dies. We'll probably use the stamps from this stamp set, but they'll be done in a way that you could pull in other stamps. There's so many other flowers that are out there, you guys, that you probably have, that if you're not wanting another flower set, you'll still be able to do this class without having this charming day bundle, okay? So that's just a heads up. That hasn't really been published anywhere. Hi, Anna Carter. Hi, Paige. Beautiful DSP. I definitely agree. So I just wanted to put that out there because as a demonstrator, we can pre-order this now, but we can only order 2 of each of the consumables and one set of the non-consumables. So like 1 bundle, and then we could order, well, the ribbon isn't pre-order, but the gems are pre-order and the DSP is. But come July 1st, when the pre-order is done and we can now order as customers, if you don't want to have multiple packs of this designer paper and you want to do the Stamp-a-Stack with me, you could plan to get the gems, the paper from basically me by doing the class. So I just wanted to give you guys that heads up and however you want to do it. Now, for those that are on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, there's always a team pricing option for you that you can get the kitted cards, or I should say the kits to make the cards, and you buy your own materials, right? That is one of the perks of being on the team, is you get team pricing on the kit alone. All right, Tigger, I'm gonna set this here, buddy, and hopefully you don't move it with your big boom bay. All right, now for game night, I'm gonna show this. I'm gonna try to get some feedback. I don't necessarily know if I'm sold on this idea. It's been hard. I originally had it in my head we were going to do the turtles. I've since decided we're not going to do the turtles for game night. So if you guys were waiting on that decision was made. I got enough feedback from everybody on a previous live that there was enough not positive for the turtles. So I think what we're going to do, we're not going to do the turtles. And what we possibly will do is an ad hoc class. Ad hoc means added on later in life, or not necessarily planned, ad hoc, right? So we're gonna potentially do an ad hoc turtle class later, probably in August would be my guess, for those that do want to work with the turtles, okay? All right, so what are we gonna do in lieu of it? And this is not gonna be finalized until tomorrow morning, but I'm gonna put it out there. I have not yet worked with the sweet jar yet, and game night, I'm thinking that there's always 4 cards that we do with it. And in here, there's cookies, there's St. Patty's Day, there are hearts for potentially Valentine's Day, and there's candles, all right? So there's 4 different occasions that are kind of going on in here, all right? And then there's a jar punch. And then I pulled out, this is a new thing for pre-order as well, it's called Need for Tweed. And how game night works is you get a quarter pack of designer paper. I'd have to figure this out because there's not 6 different patterns in here. There's 3 of a sheet versus 2 of a sheet. So I'd have to divide up the pack differently. You still get a quarter pack, but in some cases you might get an extra sheet of one and not the other one. So this is one side, and then you have this orangey yarn on the other side. But I'm feeling like cookies are chocolatey and brown, okay? This one is the red, where the other side is this, not so pretty, that. But this is universally red, and that could go with the Valentine's Day themed hearts there, maybe, right? Just putting it out there. This one with green, it's relatively all green, right? So it's green. Potentially the St. Patty's Day with the 4th of July clovers, the 4-leaf clovers, okay? So I was thinking, okay, well that could be that. And then what's left is one with candles, and there's, I don't know about that, but this one is more of a secret sea color, and it could be a guy's birthday card, using more of a secrecy and neutral color. So that's what I'm thinking about. I have a hard time envisioning how I'm going to make these cards. And I guess, again, I'm looking for feedback, because if enough people say to me, yeah, not in love with this jar punch unless I don't have to buy it, but that makes it really hard because these stamps are specific to this punch, right? So I'm not sure how many people bought this jar stamp set. And if you didn't buy the jar stamp set, if your pieces all come punched out for you, right? So you have your cookie jar or your jar all punched out, and all you have to do are add your own stamps to the inside of the jar that you could be creative on your own. Could you work with it? So anywho, that is what I'm sensing for game night, unless I get a major negative reaction. Using that TSP looks like a challenge. Oh, that's the face I have to make to that, Cindy. And that is exactly where I'm at. So, Lynn said the jars have grown on her. Okay, the other thing is I don't have to use that DSP, but I have to figure out what DSP I would use then. I hate to redo and I shouldn't say redo. I hate to reuse something a bunch of times over and over. And that just gets boring, right? So I'll let my good detectives go wild on the chase and see if there's a different designer paper that might be more conducive to what I was thinking with the jars, with the 4 different themes, but maybe a different pack of DSP, right? You guys are great at helping me figure things out, especially when the creative block is on and the struggle is real. So jars or DSP. I don't like any of the jars or DSP. Okay, the other thing too is, I know Barbara, sometimes you'll get game night. And okay, here's what I'm getting at. Nothing towards Barbara, right? What I'm getting at is, if you don't generally do game night with me anyways, regardless, and you say that not into the jars or the turtles, that's kind of like answering the question when you're not really part of the group. So, but if you generally do game night with me, I want your feedback, right? That's what I guess I'm looking for, because I don't want to disrupt my normal game night group. And I usually would get 60 to 72 people that will do game night. And it's crazy. Like Ocean Friends that we just did, we had 72, and I think the one before we had 60. So those are the people that I'm trying to reach with the question, because I want my normal community that religiously takes bingo, or I shouldn't say bingo, game night with me. So, and Barbara, you generally do. So, and I guess what I'm trying to find out, if those people that generally always do game night with me, they're not going to do it because of it. That's what I need to know too. But you never know. I might get somebody that never takes that game night with me, and then they love it. And so I make up for that. So not so big on the DSP. Okay, all right, right. Because you would have to use that DSP in a way that you don't know it's cloth or fabric or textiles, I guess you could say. Jamie says she loves the jar set, but I don't love that DSP with the jars. Okay, good. That's good to know. What about the irresistible? There you go. I like that. Or I just thought of the garden foil paper. Garden foil paper. See, this is where we have to teamwork makes the dream work. The garden, okay, so the irresistible designs is a great idea. I think there's 3 different designs in there, and you get a quarter pack. Okay, and then we could ink blend. Okay, so do you guys like that idea? That DSP is going to be beautiful for Christmas. Yes, I totally agree. So would side B of the turtle DSP be better? So side B of the turtle paper was diagonals and polka dots and yellow music notes, and then something else and something else. So I think I'm going to leave that turtle paper for a turtle class in the future. But there are 2 good points. We could either feature the foil from the garden foil, and everybody would get 6 sheets of 6x6 foil, which there's cloud cover, pretty in pink, and strawberry slush. So you'd have pink, cloud cover, and then the irresistible blooms or designs, you would get 3 different patterns, and then we could make them whatever colors we want. That is more conducive to working with the cookie jars, I bet. Remember the kid paper that used only the back side? Could you do that with the turtle paper? So Debbie guessed, yes. That was called, it was the kid one. And I think that was probably my least attended game night ever. I had 32 people, if I remember correctly, only 32 or 40 people that did that class. And it was not a big hit. And that's not what I'm looking to do with this class. So I feel like using the backside of the turtle paper is like shooting myself in the foot right now. And I hate to say that, but I think that's how I really feel about the turtle paper for game night. I want something that's going to be more universal for people that are excited to do it. Yeah, but I remember the kid paper. I can't remember the name of it though. It was, I want to say, it was Good Feelings was the name of the game night. It was July of 2023 because it was not last year but the year before. And there were the sides of that I'm pretty sure that's the one. It was Good Feelings. And there was a backside that there was yellow, one was green, one was pink. And I think all the class it was a nice class, but I still have 8 of that one left actually. So what about in color DSP for the jars? Oh, Jamie, that's a fabulous idea. Oh my goodness. That is a fabulous. Okay, you guys, this is working out really good. I like that idea. Now the question is the new in colors or the old older in colors. I think that's a fabulous idea. And you know what then? The gems could be the gems that match, and then I could pick one of, but the ribbon has to be conducive. We got to find a ribbon that goes with all of them. So, but that's okay. We can figure that out. Or I could give everybody like a yard of each color, but that's more color cutting. So anyways, that's a good idea. I like that idea. Okay, so then the in colors and potentially with the jars. You guys would like that better, right? You get, what you would get is, because the in colors, there's 40 sheets, so you'd get 10 sheets. You get 2 of each pattern, so each color. Either or mix. So no, because I'm going to buy it all the same. It's either all one color or it's all another color. It's all one pack or it's all the other pack. Otherwise, I got to design too many colors. And then older in colors, please. Okay, so Kenzie, you're in Canada. You can't vote, but I appreciate your input. the older in colors, please. So I think that but to your note, the older ones, there's Shy Shamrock in there. And so that might go really well with the Shamrock one. The hearts could be with Pretty in Pink. And then the cookies could be with either Summer Splash or Purple Petunia. And then the birthday candles can go with the other. So, all right. So if everybody's good with it and you tell me to go for it, I'm going to work with the 24 to 26 in colors, right? And then we'll add those gems in. And then I'll find a ribbon that is versatile for all of them. Probably the iridescent ribbon will go with all of them. So, okay. All right. I think we got that figured out. So by the time I do the showcase tomorrow, you guys, I will have those 4 cards ready to go so you can see what they're all about. Okay. I have a few more things I'm going to show you. And Bigger Tigger this is what Bigger Tigger wants you to see right now. Yes, buddy. Okay. We all know you're here right now. All right. So just to give you a little heads up too, I already showed these off. This is the order-based class. Okay, get a little lower, buddy. This is the order-based class, and I showed these cards off last week already. So in case you're curious, this is the Beautiful Motifs order-based class. This pops up. I'm not going to take these out. I'm just going to give you a glimpse at these because this is what's going to be included in the showcase tomorrow. So the order-based class is already ready to go. Tonight is ink, paper, scissors, so I want to show off the ink, paper, scissors for next month. This is the Impressions of Bloom ink, paper, scissors. And there's 5 cards for next month. So we're planning 8 more than this month. This month we had 80, so we're planning for 88. So we're almost sold out of this month. We're going to do 8 extra for next month. People love flowers, so that's why we're going to do a couple, maybe 2 sets of 4 extra for next month. And because they're so pretty. Now this is my absolute favorite right here, you guys. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And this one is the Mac Daddy of them all. And we'll make sure we put Velcro in, and then when you open it up, it's like that. So pretty. All right. So that is the ink, paper, scissors for next month. All right. So it's called Impressions of Bloom, Impressions of Bloom, I think. All right. Then for Let's Just Stamp, I can't remember if I showed these off to you yet either. Diane and I got these done last Friday. So Perfectly Pairs is a new online exclusive. If you don't have a pair or set of pairs, you'll have to figure out something. And you honestly didn't have to either. In this one, you could just put a sentiment, right? So you guys are getting a little sneak peek here of what's coming up in the showcase tomorrow, right? This one's my favorite. and then there's got a pear on it. But if you don't have the pear, you could also stamp anything else. A big sentiment on here. You could have anything that matches with the pear on that side. And here too, if you don't have the pear, this card would look perfectly, perfectly paired without it. And so we've got that. So that's Let's Just Stamp. Again, you guys, I'm going to go through more details on this tomorrow. Now, what's the hottest off the press that no one's seen at all, and I need to shout out to Jay Shante for her assistance in getting this class to the point it is right now. You can see I have her stamps here and her dies. You guys, I did not have either one of them, completely forgot to order them. And so this is the sweet class for next month. Buddy, let's move your tail. And so we have 3 cards that are all about the pottery, right? So here's this one, right? So if you like the blackberry, and then we've got that on the inside. It's very flashy with our gold going on. So that's not card number 1. Here was number 2, a little more softer, but we definitely pulled in gold for this class. Hi, buddy. Am I bothering you? Am I in your way? Yeah, Mom, you're taking up so much of the camera. What am I supposed to do? This one, you guys. Okay, it looks really gold on the camera, but it's a little more softer in person. The camera makes it flash. All right. What are you doing, buddy? Oh, you smell Bailey. Oh, that's what's happening. Jay has a little puppers called Bailey. And so this opens this way, and then this opens like that. Okay? So you get a fun fold on this one too. So we made this one into a wedding card. So cool. All right? And then the last card, we had to definitely go away from the pots. You're funny, Tigger. Because the die cutters are going to hate me already. And so we did one without so many crazy pots. And we did this So Happy for You. And then we made this one into a congratulations, which would be great for a birthday or a graduation or anything. So happy for you, right? A bridal shower, a baby shower. Okay, so those are, you guys, this is hot off the press. Really, really hot off the press. And so this is what we've got for Kintsugi for next month. Okay, so you guys are the first to see it. Now, and I'll go through it more in detail tomorrow. And then last but not least, I also have the monthly class ready to share. In case you guys don't get to the showcase right away, you can see the monthly run right off the bat here too. So this one is 1 card with 6 different varieties. It just depends on which designer paper you're gonna get. All of them are beautiful, so you don't have to worry about which one you get. They're all cheerful, they're all pretty, and you can stamp whatever sentiment you want on them. And it's basically the same card design. I ended up with a whole bunch of these strips left over from cutting from a different class. And so I thought, why not design a class with all the different colors? So what's really cool is in the tutorial, you guys are gonna get all 6 cards shown in the tutorial, but you'll get one of them. And if you like flowers, this class is for you. This one features the florals of bloom, and we did a wedding card, wishing you love and happiness that lasts a lifetime, and then we did congratulations. Right, so think of the die cutters, you guys. And then this is the last one. And so this one features a new die set from the pre-order called Label Me Grateful. And so again, you guys definitely got to use some new Darling Duckling and Strawberry Slush. Got, you know, all you need is a sentiment on this one too, so kept it versatile. But for those that are loving flowers, the monthly class for you for next month is going to be right up your alley. It's definitely all flowers, and that's how that worked. All right, because we have a lot of flowers to work with. All right, all right, all right. So Debbie just got the pear sweet yesterday. I'm so sad that it's unavailable. I can't order it during the sale. I think you're talking about, yeah, so get this, Yvette. It's unavailable till July 7th, so I won't be able to buy the bundle with the sale either. I don't know how I did that. You guys, I went to make the cards last night, got everything all staged. I got bases, picked out layouts, designs, started to cut designer series paper, and I'm like, oh, I'll add the pots because I knew what I kind of want to do. And I'm like, shoot, I don't have the dies. I don't have the stamp set. We asked 10 people that were here for class last night. Nobody had ordered it. I called a few people local here to meet. Nobody had ordered it. Lo and behold, I'm so grateful that Jay Shante, who lives in Appleton, had it, and I could go up and cut and die cut what I needed to finish off the cards and work on that with her. So, oh my gosh. So she definitely, teamwork makes the dream work, you guys. It definitely does. So that's how it goes. All right, all right, all right. So I think that's all I have to show you for all the classes I've come up. And again, there's gonna be one more game night, which we kind of just figured out. Thank you, Jamie Kirkpatrick, for the in-color suggestion. I appreciate that. All the all the color families with last year's pattern is on sale. And so is the ribbon for 24 to 26. Oh, you're right. But I like the new in color patterns. The one that there's flowers, there's a blizzard one, a snow blizzard, it looks like foggy. And then there's one with lines. I like and then there's one with flowers. So I think that's what I would get. And white ribbon can be colored. You are correct. You are definitely correct. So we've got a good game plan, you guys. All right. And Judy said, what did Judy Sharp say? Because Kenzie said she had a great, I've always wanted to do that. I was curious, what did you want to do? Oh, but Alaskan cruise. Okay, bring something warm. They take, okay, got it. Perfect. I forgot after placing 2 orders at the beginning of the sale with the math, I took a break and not out of stock. Yeah, you had to catch that stuff in the beginning. Otherwise, right now there's maybe 3 suites that are out of stock. The Celebratory Sips, the one for tonight that we're featuring, what's out of stock in that suite is the embossing folder the pair of embossing folders. So, all right. So what are we working with tonight, you guys? Let's rock and roll. I think we chatted enough, a lot more than I thought we would. I have here, so Celebratory Sips. You guys, this is the DSP sampler. I have 15 of these left that are looking for happy homes yet. I think that if you've reached out to me recently, I don't know, I know Yvette Smith, if you're watching, we were going to connect to get you one. I still have them available, and I'll keep these available until they sell out. And generally what happens is it takes through the end of the summer for it to sell out. But it's a great little reference tool of all the different designer series paper that goes back basically to March. And then there's a few that we pulled from January that didn't make it into the last DSP sampler. But Celebratory Sips, this is what we're working with tonight. All the cards that we have feature this different designer series paper. So we used each of the patterns at least once throughout the 4 cards. Lots of card stock coordinates with this set of designer series paper. One of them has all the different drinks. So depending on which square you get, your drinks will look different for that. Same with this one. There's a bunch of different drinks that are on this pattern. And so when you get your kit from me for class tonight, it will look, my drinks are flying away. Ha! Drink! Kenzie, drink. Take a sip. All right, so when you get your kits, you're going to get your golden yellow ticket on the top, which says the name of the class. So this is Celebratory Sips. Today's date is June 26th. I need to call my cousin Ann and wish her a happy birthday. She never fails to call me when it is my birthday, and I almost have been thinking about it all day. All right, so today's date, June 26th, and the PDF tutorial has not been sent. So just putting it out there that this is not done. We talked about that earlier in the video. So as soon as we can, I will email it to you and send you a card idea via text for the jars that I made in a recent card class. Awesome, Carolyn. I appreciate that that assist there. Talk long enough for me to cut out the needed glasses. Okay, Kari, that's perfect. I love it. Just fussy cut all the drink. Oh, I love it. You guys are working hard. I was working putting mine together today. Perfect. I missed ordering the set also. Yeah, that happens. Okay, so you have your 4 card kits. Now, I have Post-it notes on almost every card. That means I've got something awry in my kits, and people like that because they see how I improvise. Okay, and you know what's really great is you guys all got these new in-color gems or dots or pearls in this card class. So that's definitely why we'd want to feature the other in-colors, because then you guys will get both of the gems. So cool. All right, so you got your 4 kits. And you guys, I have a whole bunch of Happy Mail here. I think we'll wait and we'll do this Happy Mail after class is done if I remember, okay? And then in your bag here, you'll also have the strawberry slush ribbon that looks like that. And you'll have your designer series paper. Now, Karen Wetstein did a solid, and she cut everybody's paper down the middle like this, and then she took out each side and then went like that. And I've already did a little bit of cutting on here, so that's good. So that's done. And then in here, you'll need, oh, I love that, so good. That makes me want to have like that in my glass right now. This all looks so refreshing, you guys. And if you don't drink boozy booze, then you could pretend that they're mocktails, right? Which are drinks without alcohol in them. Kenzie's gonna be smashed by the end of class, right? Oh man. So we need, what we're gonna do is while we look at this, we're gonna pull out the sheets of designer paper and we'll just map them out with the cards. All right, so this pinkish one goes over here, and you only need one for now. So let's only grab one. This one is what goes on this card. You don't need that side. And this bluish one will go here. This cloud cover one goes over here. And then we also need this one right here, which goes here. So we used at least one of each of the sheets, just so you guys are aware of that. You should have this left over to make something else pretty with. And what we're gonna do first off the bat is cut our designer paper. And the first one we'll do is we'll grab this. Look at me getting my card, my drinky drinks. Ah! Poor Kenzie. She said it, not me, you guys. I didn't tell her to go grab a beverage. All right. So for the measurements, you guys, since we don't have a tutorial to look at, we're just going to go straight off of my note, my cliff notes here. All right. The DSP is 5 1/16. Oh, there's a bunch here. Okay. So there's two different measurements going on here. This bottom blue one is 5 1/4 by 1 3/8. And you have to figure out how there are lines on this, right? So you got the lines going this way, or if you don't want to see the lines, you could have it go this way. But I think I'll go with this because it's a little bit thicker. So this is 1 3/8. So I will, knowing that you guys don't have the tutorial, and I know some people want to cut along with me. So it's 1 3/8 for the height of our, it's a tabletop. If you guys didn't catch this, we cased this card. This was very similar to the Stampin' Fun in the Sun card. We liked that one. So that's 1 3/8, and it's going to be by 5 1/4. So 5 1/4 that way. And then you have this little guy left. I don't know what you want to do with it. I'm just going to toss mine. It's a whittle. And then this pinky piece really has no direction to it. But what you can do is if you cut it so if they're going this way, you might have this left to do with a strip or that to do with a strip. This is 5 1/16, and it says by 3 13/16. Now, it doesn't need to be that tall because it does get hidden behind here. So if you want to be on the frugal bus, you could do it by 3 inches, or even if you want to be even more conservative, you could do 2 3/4. And I think 2 3/4 is plenty, right? So if you want, you could cut it at 2 3/4. I want to have mine going horizontal, and I want to save that picture for some reason. 2 3/4. I don't know why. This reminds me of the Kool-Aid Man. All right, that picture reminds me. Yeah, and he comes bursting through the wall. So 2 3/4 tall by 5 1/16. Right, so 2 3/4 by 5 1/16, and now you just cut the piece that's going to go back here and the one that goes over the top of it. All right, that's good. So that is, now I also look, this is what's on the inside, and I thought that looked pretty slick. So how that works is you could, however you want to do it. Oh man, I'm going to break the Kool-Aid Man in half. This is not going to be tall enough, right? Okay, and the question is, what do you want to do about your envelope flap, right? So there is, right here, there's an envelope flap. Now, envelope flaps are generally 2 1/4 wide. If I do, we're going to lose our Kool-Aid Man, you guys. It's okay. If I do 2 1/4 here, that's fine. My Kool-Aid Man's going to go away. We're going to end up covering him up. This is what could be used right here, right? It's a little wider than this one, but it's perfectly fine. And that would be 3 13/16 tall. 3 13/16 tall. Not needing that. This, if for those that need to know, that was like 1 1/16, and that's because we cut that other piece at 1/16, I think. So this was 2 1/4. This is just for the envelope flap. All right, so envelope flap, inside, outside pieces. This is what we need for this one. And I don't know exactly where the card kit is, but you know what? Why don't we get organized and figure out which one it is? And I think it's that one. All right, so then what we're gonna do is stick all this stuff in here, set the card on top, and put that there. And I lost my drinks. They went somewhere. We'll find them later. Okay, that one's done. So this one is easy enough. It is 5 1/16 by 3 13/16, but you want to see if there's a direction to the paper. And there kind of is. To me, I feel like it goes this way. That seems like it's going this way. So I'm going to cut my 3 13/16 first. Scoring in there. This is what I'm going to use for my envelope flap then. And then we have 5 1/16. We do this cut a lot because this ends up being your bottom for the inside, right? And then this ends up being your envelope flap, and this ends up being your front mat. And then the drinks on this one were the lemonade and the, I don't know, mango peach spritzer, okay? And this one has a strawberry slush, must be the top one here. So it's a strawberry slush guy. So we'll put all that there with this one. And then we'll cut for this. Let's do this one last. All right, let's do this one next. So this one's an easy one. What did we just do? We just did 3 13/16 by 5 1/16. So we want to make sure our flowers stay, this way. So we're going to flip it or rotate it. Do your 3 13/16 first, and then this becomes your envelope flap. And then you're going to do your 5 1/16. And then that becomes a piece. So we have 3 drinks here that I already cut too. There you go. And then that is on the inside here. Whoa, that's pretty with that drink. Okay, perfect. I don't know if I cut that drink yet. So this and this with these drinky drinks. Drink, Kenzie. And it goes with the fresh freezer right there. All right, so that's that one. Now, for that very first card, I just came across my drinks. So I'm going to put those away now. The chalk, I can take 2 sips. All right, this next one, I love this drink. It's, you guys, I'll have to admit, when this set first came out, I was not impressed with it. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I could get into it. But after you sit down and actually look at these drinks, they're making me thirsty. And I don't need them to even have alcohol. I could just drink this if this was like a strawberry spritzer or something with a little straw, or like grenadine in here with a little 7 Up, like a little kitty cocktail would taste amazing. Oh my goodness. All right, so we need this blue paper. And I need to, I guess I really needed, I haven't looked at this for a little while. So we've got some homework to do with this one. This one's not, we're gonna make you work for this, okay? So we have here that the DSP is 4 1/8 by 4 7/8, okay? So what's happening is we're gonna cut the outer. So this is 4 1/8, and then it's 4 7/8 tall, which is only to here. So you're wondering like that. What happens is we're cutting strips, and there's an 1/8 of an inch 4 times, which is an inch. So that 1/8 and 1/8, yep, that's an inch. So that's how you end up with it only needing to be 4 7/8. So I have here that my stars look like they go like this versus like this, right? So we need a 4 1/8 wide, right? So we're gonna do 4 1/8, right, like that, okay? And this, it's kind of really a little skinny to do your envelope flap. So you might consider going and grabbing from that second piece that we put over there, I call that the scrap yard nowadays. so 4 1/8. So 4 1/8 is the width of this bottom one here. Okay, so that's good. And then I've got a little guide here. We have 4 1/8 by 1 1/8 tall, right? So that's this one. That one's not the same. So these are all kind of slightly different. And that is definitely 1 1/8. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it this way, and we're gonna cut 1 1/8. So this bottom one is 4 1/8 by 1 1/8. All right, so there's that. The next one is 3/4 inch tall. So I'm just gonna go 3/4 inch tall. And then the width of it is 3 3/4. So we're gonna go over to here, and we're cutting off the right side, right? You don't wanna cut off the left because you want your pattern to be continuous up. So definitely cut off the right side. So this goes right here, okay? And then now we need to do another 1 1/8. So cut that 1 1/8 off, and then twist it, and you're gonna do 3 1/2. So this one's 1 1/8 by 3 1/2. So that guy goes there. And then we're gonna do a 3/4 again. And 3/4 is by 2 7/8. So then 2 7/8 is this guy, right? They're staggering their way home. And then the next one is 1 1/8. Now I never cut at 4 7/8, so this was taking me to the 6-inch mark. So I could always potentially put this on the inside if I want to. And then this one is by 2 3/8. So 2 3/8. So they did alternate 1 1/8, 3/4, 1 1/8, 3/4, 1 1/8. And then our steps kind of worked that way. So that's the designer series paper. And then this piece that's left here could go on your inside, and that could be 3 13/16. And if you don't mind the height that it is like this, you could leave it that tall, and then you don't have to cut it down. Or if you think that's a little too tall, you could always give it a haircut and take it down a notch. I did mine to about 1 inch here, and I think that's better. Okay, so that's that part, right? So just so I don't get confused, I'm gonna put my drinks on the top of that one, and then I'm gonna go from top to bottom, putting them on top of each other. All right. So that's what's gonna, I'm gonna keep it like this. Now that is not all right? Sorry to say. The envelope that you have here has so we're gonna start with this card right off the bat. When you open this kit, I've got something wrong with it. I don't know exactly what. You're gonna have a 1/4 sheet of designer paper. That is for you to cut the steps, right? We just gave you this. It was gonna be too hard. I did not want to ask a helper to do that. I figured you guys could help cut your own. And so this is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So it's a full 1/4 sheet, and we need to cut it down. And so the first one is 4 1/4 by 1 1/4. So with it going horizontal like this, you want to do 1 1/4, right? So the width should be accurate. Now that's the first one. So the next one is 7/8. So go to your 7/8, and then we need to rotate it and do 3 7/8. Okay, so that's the next step. And then it's 1 1/4, like that. And then this one is 3 5/8. The next is 7/8. So go to the 7/8, and then by default, this last one should be 1 1/4. This should be 3 inches then, like that. And then this one just needs to get rotated, and 2 1/2 is your magical number for that. Okay, so those are your steps. Oh, okay. Shirley Temple, yes, that sounds pretty phenomenal right about now, you guys. I cannot lie. And I'm gonna take a drink of water because you guys, just seeing all these beautiful drinks makes me thirsty. We have a local establishment called Tav on the Ave, and it's a 7-minute walk from my house. And they make seasonal refreshments. Every month they change them up, and then every quarter they change them up. And they have blueberry fields forever right now, and it's pretty phenomenal. I gotta say, Tyler and I went there after the funeral on Monday. We stopped in for a drink, and that's what we tried, and it was really good. All right, so there are our steps. Now, I'm gonna bring these back out because I never put them away, and they should go right on top and mat very nicely for that, right? So very good. And then on this one, I don't have any drinks on the inside, so I can move these out of the way for right now. And with the score and the cutting blades on the Stampin' Up, I bought a Creative Memories one. I really got into the stamping figured it was better because it was different cards to cut. I thought it would make mistakes. Hopefully you don't make many mistakes. That's always important. If you guys are ever worried about making mistakes, you definitely should cut on copy paper first. So we used the textured notes dies, and we used some retired vellum. I did stock up a little bit. I bought a couple packs before it went out of stock, and we're going to continue to design with it where we see it fits really nicely. So the vellum really kind of makes it look like more like cotton candy, matching this blue. You have a little strip of this garden foil and cloud cover. You have a tiny, teeny 3/8 inch little label here for your Celebrate. And then on the inside, we have a double mat. So all the ink, paper, scissors are going to have the double mat because I designed them with Diane. And then what happens, you're going to need to burnish the edges here. And one time I was switching the kind, it flew out of your hand. Yeah, so you're downstairs. When I was working in the live station downstairs, I lost my scoring one. It flew down on the floor somewhere, and it's completely full. And I gotta find it yet. All right, so what happens, you guys, is that folds back like this. And what we're gonna do is glue those pieces onto here. All right, so what could we do first? You guys know me. I like to glue what I can, all right, off the bat. So I am gonna put these like this because I don't wanna confuse anything. And I'm a flipper over-er. So I'm gonna flip. I'm gonna be consistent about this so that I don't lose my order. And I'm gonna get the glue going on all of them at the same time. And hopefully by the time I get to the last one, it's not too dry. So what we're gonna do is just stage these in the cloud cover mats. So there's that one. And hopefully I kept them in order so that like that pattern should line up. It should be right on track. All right. My trimmer sometimes leaves a little bit of a hangy hair of paper, so I always like to trim that off. And then this one is next. All right, with the liquid glue, you have a little wiggle room with it. And then that guy. All right. So that was the hard part for this one, right? Getting that stuff cut. And once you guys have the tutorial, that will definitely help. And then what I'm gonna do on this, I guess I'm trying to remember if I feel like I put glue all over this whole thing or part of it right off the bat. So we're just gonna put a little bit of liquid glue like that. I'm gonna grab this bottom one and make sure I'm flush along the bottom. I can always trim off this hair if I need to, straight there. And then this just butts right up to it. This card looks more complicated, I think, than what it really is. And you just want to make sure you don't overlap anything. And now I'm going to need a little bit more glue. Oh, the thing's not on. Don't squeeze too hard because you don't want it easing through the crevasse, I guess, the cracks. And then this should go right there. Right. One thing you could have done ahead of time was just double checked to make sure that you're pretty square up there, like that the 5.5 part was correct and the 4 1/4. Because if it's not, I could have cut it beforehand, but it's so close. But yet, I just like to make sure I don't have those hairs hanging over, and I'm flush. And then right here, there's just a minor amount that could get trimmed off, and hopefully that doesn't affect my board or anything. There it is. And then what happens is this opens like that, and you can see the back side. And if you're so inclined, now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder what it would be like to glue your bits and parts on the back. That's not gonna work. Not at all. Okay. I thought that it might work, but not really. Okay. But I was trying to figure out a way to get decoration on the backside. So you do have this though. if you work off this piece first, and then you could cut the back side, right? You know that the height is, they alternate 1 1/8, 3/4, 1 1/8, 3/4, then you could just figure out the width. But okay, that's a thought what you could do with the inside. And then, or you could put this piece right here if you wanted, right? That fits right there. If you just cut it off right there, then at least you have a little decoration on the inside. Just a thought. I'm going to get glue happy and just get my pink mat in place right here. I like the idea of putting that designer series paper on the inside though. You made a style like this for your Father's Day card using the fountain. Perfect. All right, so I'm gonna cut this because I think that that would be really cool to have that on the inside. So I'm gonna cut it at 5 1/4, like that. I'm gonna skip the steps being decorated then. Might as well put this on here. Perfect, right? Why not decorate that inside? It's not going to show that on the video for the PDF, you guys, or the PDF, you guys, the pictures with the PDF. Okay, so we need, okay, cloud cover is a sore subject for some people, but my cloud cover turned out fine. And there are some left in inventory, and I don't, there's still a cat on here. Isn't that crazy, you guys? I've used this ink pad one time to make this card probably, and there's a cat fur in there, of course. So for those that are interested in getting a cloud cover pad and you're not a demonstrator, you could give me a heads up, let me know you're interested in one, and if I can order them, I just can't resell them, right? Until they go out of stock. So that's the deal. I'd have to just hang on to it in my own personal possession. I think that that's not against compliance. I'm not reselling it, and I won't resell it until after, but I would definitely, if a customer is looking for it and want the ability to get it, they should be able to have that opportunity. So I'm going to flip it over. Just know, though, there is no exchanging it. There's no returning it, and your color might not be, what's on there? There's something on my E. Your color might not be pristine. It might be a little darker, it might be more grayer, it might be more purple. I guess there was no rhyme or reason to what was happening with it. And we're gonna do cheers on the inside with strawberry slush. So let me grab that. The cheers comes from this set. So I'll put that right about there. And then we can glue. That's it for stamping, you guys. Sorry, not more exciting than that. All right, so then we have here our designer paper. Can go at the bottom. Right, like that. And then you could go ahead and glue this in. Oh, you guys like the style. Very good. All right, strawberry slush and cloud cover. They go hand in hand. They're very pretty. All right, then for this, what I would do is take some tear and tape. So with vellum, you gotta be careful, because if you put it behind a spot that you see, you're gonna see it through it. So I'm only gonna put a little on the back left and the back right, not in the left upper area. And then that's going to get put onto this strawberry slush texture note die. And then a little more tear and tape is going to go behind this label. And if there's someone in Canada, I have purchased a few extras. So if someone reaches out to you, direct them to me or Rose. Yeah, definitely. I can check with her too, but that's exactly it. If you have a demonstrator that you work with, you could reach out to them to see if they'd get one for you and hold on to it until they become out of stock. Once they go out of stock, that's when we can resell them. Did you cut those stair pieces? No, definitely not, Yvette. That would have been too much. I would have put my helpers over the edge. So you guys, when you see my kit, like when I open up the card kit, what you see is what everybody else gets. So you saw in mine, it was a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. That is what everybody got. So that would have been way too much. I think that they would have told me to go fly a kite if I would have asked them to cut that. That is not in my wheelhouse for my helpers to do that kind of work, especially when the majority of the people online have cutters at home that you guys can cut your own. Now, did Diane do it for her class in person last night? She might have helped everybody, or she might have had everybody cut it themselves. I'm not quite certain what she did, but I definitely did not have it done for the online community here. So what we're doing here, I was gonna pop up this right side and right about there and right here. Hello, Wendy Tick. All right, so I'm staging my bar, or my countertop here, for my drinks to hang on. And I've got it. I just want to see if that's the same. Okay, so it's a little bit less on the left and a little bit more on the right. And I'm just going to gently put this down because I want to see what I've got. Perfect. All right, so we're going to continue popping. So you can't pop this back. Oh, you actually can. Never mind, you can. I thought you had to be careful, but you don't have to be that careful. I was going to say, if you had a Cricut or Brother Skin and Cut, you can have it cut for you. Yes, so I was thinking about that. Purchasing a Brother Scan and Cut. Naughty Nancy used to have one, and I don't know what happened to it. But she never taught me how to use it either. And I'm one of those people that I need somebody to show me how to use it. Otherwise, I don't ever learn, and it sits in a box unused. So this is slightly higher than this one there. And what happens is it covers up this one here. You can see on the back here, you can just see it. It's lined up with the arm or the step that's coming out, and it's slightly higher than it. So I've got it lined up right with that corner and then up slightly. All right, something like that. All right, then our drinky drinks are gonna go on next. And so I've got my Strawberry Fields Forever. This guy is gonna go flat, and I popped up the umbrella, and then this one I popped the whole thing up. And I did notice that on the side here, I need an extra little bit of a support system here because the pink is popped up and I popped this up. So it's kind of going crooked on me. So I'm just going to gently pick that up and add a little support system right there so that's straight. And then we're going to put a little dimensional there, and we'll use these on this guy. And then on this one, I think I'm going to put a little liquid glue on that one. Thanks, Joy. Oh, this one's so refreshing. All right, so we got it on our countertop here, and you see a little bit of the pink border from the textured note dies. The umbrella goes up there, and then this one goes right next to it. It is hanging off a little bit, and it's down just a little bit a little bit from the pink one. Okay, I think that looks nice. And then we have this guy. It's gonna go across here, just like that. And I did trim mine just a little bit. So if you have your little baby trimmers and want to, sorry honey, did I wake you up, girlfriend? You could trim this. We made them a little bit longer than what they needed to be in case you had a little bit longer of a sentiment. But I'm gonna trim that slightly. And then what happens is it gets a dimensional. Now I gotta figure out which side. So you're gonna use a dimensional underneath the E and here, and then you'll do a little bit of liquid glue underneath where the C is. Perfect. Okay, and then for your gemsies, you could use a combination of pink or cloud cover. Thanks, Wendy Tick. All right, so I've got these guys here. All right, you guys got a whole thing of them, so go to town if you want to. And use pink and blue however you want. I did them a little opposite here. I did blue and then pink, and here I've got pink and blue. I think a pink one looks great over there. You could add a blue, like that. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I added a few more. And so the photograph you guys are gonna see isn't gonna have these over here, but it's okay. You guys got all the gems. No, we're not done. Whoa, 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 I forgot, you guys. One moment, please. I have 2 gems over there. So wait, when you see this over here, maybe that might be too many gems. We're gonna find out. So I've got one here yet and one there. So now that I have these over here, maybe that's why. I bet you guys can't even see that. Oh yeah, you can. There's a cat fur that stuck right to my gem here. Of course it did, right? All right, I got it now. So I'm not feeling that now, but maybe one of them. How about, oh, maybe that one will stay. So you gotta be careful. When you put gems down, sometimes a little sticky thing will stay. There. All right, I like that. So let's just get that one off. All right, so that's the thing with gems. If you don't put them on too tight, you can always grab from underneath and pull them off. All right, so Stella, Ella, Ella. Stella our drinks. Get our Stella on. This Stella pen is locked and loaded. Okay, all right. We got the most intricate one, tedious one of them all done. Beautiful card. I would be so happy to get that. I love having that extra little bit of designer paper in there. Now, what I didn't do is I didn't cut an extra piece for the envelope flap. But if you do, you could just cut about, if you want to be frugal, you could cut a 2-inch piece. And if you do cut a 2-inch piece, you're just gonna have to trim off some of this bottom part here. And if you cut a 2¼ inch piece, you'll have plenty. So that's what we've got here, is that matching envelope with that. Okay, 1 done and 3 to go, but we're rocking and rolling now. I will leave that stuff out and off to the side. Put this with that, and maybe in a moment, I don't even know why I had this. I don't know, maybe I'll never know now. All right, so this guy's next. This one's gonna be more easy peasy for us. Like a normal card, I think. I do have a sticker on here, so we'll find out what's wrong with my stuff. So another textured notes. And you can see that's what you're gonna stage your drinks on. Okay, you have a little bit of this velvety fresh freezer ribbon. Okay, so this isn't ink, paper, scissors, you guys. So I will tell you, sometimes it's really hard to design 4 cards using the same ribbon. And when that is a hard thing to do, we don't struggle bus it. So there was no way to incorporate strawberry slush in here. So your strawberry slush ribbon is taking a break for the moment, and you're gonna use this teeny tiny bit that we put in here at no extra charge. It just was like, we need purple ribbon in here. Thanks, Studepis. All right, then you have another little baby strip for a sentiment. This little guy is going to get covered up for the most part with this designer series paper. And you have a little stirring stick in here. And now part of it was cut off. It is normally longer, but you don't need it all. And this was cut out of the cloud cover foil. And then you have your stuff here for a double matte, okay, on the inside. So what you could do is burnish. Oh yes, Michelle, I figured you would like the purple because purple is your color. All right, keep it horizontal. And what I'm gonna do is flip both of these over. Oh, no, I keep forgetting that I have the cover off. So you gotta be careful when you leave the cover off, though. It gets goopy on the end faster. All right, so there's that. And you can see that we cut that right out of the middle of this. Just like that. And you wanna make sure you glue your flowers correct. And the ribbon doesn't go behind, so it's quite all right to get this glued right off the bat. And then this one is going to get popped up with dimensionals. Very cute cards and an amazing group of fun ladies. Oh, thanks, Anna Carter. Doing great with the wine. I missed your comment when I went to refill. All you gotta do is scroll right back up though. You should be able to see it. I don't know how far back it was. All right, this is just going to get centered in here. Oh, I know, it's you. Mary Lemke, it's okay. I know what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out a little bit from the middle here and use it for something, because it is sad to cover up designer series paper, but we get the drift of what is under or behind there. Okay, the green one is going to get popped up. So let's grab some of these guys. Right there. And then we gotta remember to get our stirring stick on here. So the stirring stick, what you could do is grab a little glue dot and prep it on the back left side here, right about where the stirring stick is going to be. So it's kind of weird because you would think that you would, I have an idea, oh man, I don't know if it'll work. So the stirring stick, since it's a clear up here, you should see the stirring stick, right? So I had a thought in my head, I'm like, well, I wonder if I put a little slice right here, if you'd see the stirring stick, but then the stirring stick's not inside the glass. So figure it out, do whatever you gotta do for it to make sense in your head, right? Because technically you should see the stirring stick, unless it's a white glass, but then if it's a white glass, you wouldn't be able to see the pretty drink. I don't know. Do whatever works for you, right? Right. Whatever makes sense in your head. And what we're gonna do is put a little bit of glue there and here. And this guy is gonna go on to the left. Oh, I'm so glad I cut my drinky drinks out beforehand. I didn't purposely say that, Kenzie, it just came out. All right, so that one's gonna go there. And then this one kind of overlaps them on the left and the right. Okay, our sentiment is you earned it. If you're wondering where that comes from, you earned it. Honey, did I wake you up again, baby? Oh man, I'm starting to sleep. Notes and totes my goats, you earned it. That's where that comes from. On one of the next cards, we have relax and enjoy. That is, and that might even be this one. Yep, it's on this one. All right, so we need the Blackberry Bliss ink. And it is you earned it. And so we're gonna have another little 3/8" strip for you. I'm gonna go more to the left. Oh, let's see if we get that straight. Oh, nice. We went longer with the strip so that in case you want to use something longer, you could. Now for this, I'm gonna stage this on the left, and then the relax and enjoy is also from Notes and Totes My Goats. And go right about there. Oh, you're going camping tomorrow for 3 days. First trip of the year. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Jamie. That is awesome. All right, relax and enjoy is good to go. GTG. I think we're done with the blackberries that are blissful. And we can prep the back of this. And also, while we're at it, we're gonna get some glue out. We're gonna do this too. And this. So let's grab the flappy flap, and there's that. And then this one, make sure your flowers are facing the correct way. We'll go right there. All right, perfect. Now this can get flipped over, and then we'll use our paper scissors just to cut the envelope flap. So how many of you have been doing your envelope flaps recently? I absolutely love doing them when we have the paper that we can use to go with it, right? Especially when you have some of those extra strips there. I love it, that's good. All right, then this gets a little bit of glue. Gets adhered to our blackberry inside mat. And then that can go on the inside of the card. Cute cards. This calls for refreshing news. So I'm having a berry margarita. Oh man, I wish you could send one my way. I'm thinking that an old fashioned. If I don't have, if Tyler doesn't want to go get a blueberry fields drink, I'm gonna be like, can we just go down to the basement and get the Southern Comfort up and have a little 7-Up and get the old fashioned mix and make it old fashioned, right? I have blueberries in the fridge. I could muddle them with some oranges. Okay, I just trimmed that a little bit. You're gonna need your tear and tape again. Kari loves decorating the envelope flap. Good, me too. All right, underneath the earned, we're gonna run a little bit of tear and tape. And you gotta be careful with this purpley ribbon. One side is purple and the other side is white. So when you put underneath the RN and you bring it this way, you have to not flip it back, otherwise you're gonna see the white. So you kinda gotta twist it and bring it back. And then same thing, you gotta twist it and bring it back. And we gave you more than enough. You probably have an extra inch than what you really need. All right, so you can trim that tail and this tail. And again, twisting it is the ticket for that versus back and forth, otherwise you see the white. And then you want to get your tape over the top of this. Then on this one, it's flat on the left, and then you could put some dimensionals over here. So actually one is probably enough. And then a little bit of liquid glue right there. And then pop that up on your mojito. There it is. Cool. All right, Stella is in order, like always. Stella, your drinky drinks. Is anybody keeping track of how many times I've said that word? All right. Then on this one, for the gems, Secret C could work, but also the cloud cover would work. And I've got, it's hard. There's not a lot of spots to put them. So I would put a big one, a small one, and then the Mac Daddy one over there. They kind of get lost in the flowers or in the sauce. All right, so you earned it. And then relax and enjoy. Okay, perfect for a retirement card, right? I bet we all know somebody that's gonna be retiring soon. I think that they would enjoy this card. All right, well that one wasn't so hard. I hopefully didn't make that look too easy. And there's our matching envelope for the Team Purple fans. There you go. All right, next is Team Orange and Team Pink married together in this card. And this one's a fun one as well. All right. So this one we've got Let's Celebrate on the outside. Got all of our bits here. I don't know why I had a Post-it note on that last card, but I have one on here too. I don't know what that means at the moment. We have our orange, it's our tiger, grr, Tony the Tiger. For our Spotlight and Nature die, that definitely got cut out of this mat, which is where that goes. And then you have your two inside mats here. Okay. Now we have to be careful on this. We can't glue this down until our ribbon goes behind. All right, so let's start with gluing these two pieces together. Now our envelope flap here, as long as we've got some liquid glue in our hand, let's just test it. So part of the edge here is going to get cut off, so you don't want to go too close, but right almost near the edge. And for this, I'm going to glue the top versus putting it behind. I should have done a dry fit, but I trusted the system here. So that does fit good. And then my flappy flap here. And get that right to the edge. Now, to me, we cut this paper so the flowers were going this way. I feel like that worked good. And then we can use our paper scissors. So when your designer series paper doesn't reach all the way to the edge, I cut it like this first, and then I flip it over and I see how much is missing, and I come back and just trim that, and the person will never know that that was like that. All right. So because we don't necessarily know where our ribbon's gonna end up, we can do this gluing first. So the circle should be, let's see, I think I have it a little closer to the bottom if I'm not mistaken. 7/8 and, yeah, over 1 inch. I do. I think I purposely did a little closer to the bottom. Centered left to right. And there's 7/8. Like that. I think that should be good. Now that was under the ribbon. Okay, so now how the drinks are gonna work. They're popped up. So we're gonna flip them over and popper them up. And we're gonna take off the tops, but not the bottoms, of the waxy paper part. Okay, so we're gonna do that, and then I think a little guy will work good right there and right there. So let's take off the top ones and not the bottom ones, because these bottom ones, we need to be able to get the ribbon underneath them. Right, so that's ready, and this is ready. So the lemonade's gonna go first. My vodka lemonade or my mocktail lemonade. So about like that. And if we don't like where it's situated, we can always move it in a little bit. And it slightly overlaps. It's about the same height. Okay, right, so about the same distance on both sides. And then for the ribbon, that's over here, we're gonna need about 5 inches and then about 4 inches. So grab your ribbon scissors and cut about 4 and 5 inches. And then you're gonna need to grab the tear-in tape and put a piece on the left and the right. And now that we have that staged, we can lift these guys up, and now we can eyeball where we want this to go, right? That's my trick with this kind of stuff. Sometimes I know I want ribbon back there to help ground it, but I don't necessarily know the height, right? So now that I've got my drinks situated, I can see where I want it coming out from back there. And I'm gonna say right about here for now. And I'm gonna wait to put the backs on until I have this guy done. So Let's Celebrate is stamped in the strawberry slush. Let's Celebrate. This will come from the Cheers and Sip set. They've got to you, to us, it's your day, let's celebrate. They're teeny tiny little words. So I wouldn't use them on the inside of a card, but they made sense to put it on the outside of this one. All right, so it's a widow, a wee widow sentiment. Okay, I'm sensing that this side is skinnier and this side gets taller by a hair, not much. And I know I'm gonna cut it shorter, so I'm picking the skinnier side to stamp on. I can see that. Then I'm gonna cut that off and everything will be good. On the inside of this one I have Happy Birthday. Oh, I think I forgot to put a drink on the inside of the other card. Okay, Happy Birthday comes from the set we were just talking about. We spent a lot of time talking about this set. Sweet Jar is where the Happy Birthday comes from. So that will go also in the strawberry slush. And I've got that centered up there. Perfect. You could also use Timid Tiger if you prefer that color. Okay, that looks nice. Put you right there. All right, so what is back here? We have a drink, an orange drink. Orange drink. Drink your drink. So let's, oh, that looks nice too. Flowers. Okay, flower. So that first. And then we can glue that onto the orange Timid Tiger mat. Man, didn't pick up. So there's this one. I definitely like the pink for the ink on the inside, only because it shows off more. The orange would blend in more. Okay, I had glue on my fingers. So I ended up getting glue right there. All right, better, back on track. All right, this will get glued on the inside, and our Let's Celebrate needs to get trimmed. So let's just do it all at the same time, right? All right, so that gets cut off. Put you over there. And then this needs some liquid glue. Oh, ha ha! It's not there yet. Okay. That can go in here. There's nothing yet in that other. All right, good. And I was waiting to put this Let's Celebrate and make sure I liked how this was going. All right, so this will go underneath here. And it will be with an overhand knot then. We're going to tie that on. So that knot will go right about there. This needs a little dimensional on the left and the right. Look at me, I'm almost done with that. You could glue this flat too, but this is going to stage right across these. And I have it lined up that it meets the top of the ribbon, like right about there. I was trying to see if I like that. That should be good. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. The only thing I was thinking is maybe I want this ribbon down more, a hair, and then I would have brought that down. Because to me, what I try to do is I look for lines, and I'm staging it here, and then I'm dropping down to the ribbon. So if I wanted to really see this right here, it's like I was really envisioning it, that you see a little bit of that lemon, and that hangs over just a hair, and that actually should be fine then. All right, so I'm good with it. We decided we're good to go. Now, I'm gonna put that over here. And a little bit of liquid glue. And now we can put it on the front of the card. Finally. And we can't forget, we need to bring these up and grab those waxies off. Now what's happening is they're catching the ribbon. So they're flippy floppy. I don't know if you guys can see, they're still flippy floppy here. I'm gonna take some of this little dimensional and capture it way on the end here. And by capturing it way on the end, it's gonna stick to the paper. But right now it's sticking to the ribbon and there's nothing holding the ribbon down. So I wanna make sure I capture that paper on the end here. Right here, you guys can see the sample right here. That's exactly what I didn't do on this one. So, never too late to fix it up, Buttercup. Or even, yeah, that's good. And then this one needs one too. There. See, now we're back in order. Now that this is situated, I'm gonna take my ribbon. I have found that if you tie it one way, your tails go a certain way, and if you tie it the opposite, your tails go a different way. So I gotta just always figure out which way looks best, and sometimes I don't know until I actually try it. So this one has a tendency that they're gonna go like that, and that's kind of what I wanted it to do. And then grab your ribbon scissors, and then you can trim those baby tails off. Like that. Alrighty. And then on this one, I've got some orange gems. Orange drink. And they kind of get lost in the sauce, but I think they still match the best out of all of them. And you can always add more if you like, because you've got a whole bunch of them. You could even add some strawberry slush ones, but I think I'm gonna call that good. Get that Stella pen out. Perfect, there it is. Oh, why not do all this? Okay, a very bright and cheerful card. And the thing that I did miss on this one, in case you guys are curious, I've got that orange drink on the inside. And I do have an orange drink right here. And since this is the easiest one to cut, why not get her done? Keep her moving. Okay, so that was in this one, and I'm pretty certain in that last card I had the big tall drink in there, which is this guy right here. For the most part, the way that everybody's drinks got cut, I think everybody should end up with similar drinks that the cards will look pretty much identical, or maybe you might have just a hair different of a color. All right, so this one is gonna go, oh, my phone is ringing. All right, these are gonna get glued on our inside. And this was for the pink drink over here, hanging out off on the side. There. Okay, finished that one. And then this guy, put it right there. All right. Do, 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 do. All right, so now we can say that one's officially done. Wonderful, wonderful. Good deal, good deal. We got 3 done. And we've got una más. And let's see, which is the last guy? The last one looks, oh, our drink's on the tabletop. I love it. Okay, this guy. Have you always been crafty, or is your designing from years of experience? So, good question. I would say I am the person, I am the one that would tell you I am not creative. Don't you love it when people tell you that? So for those demonstrators out there who have classes and you're like, people are saying, I don't want to do class. I'm sorry. I'm not crafty. I'm that person. I would say I'm not crafty. I'm not creative. I can case things, but I've always been crafty in my life. I started off with my grandma Haas. She did plastic canvas crafts with me back when I was probably 6 or 7. And then went into latch hooking, and then went into painting ceramics. And then from painting ceramics, I went into scrapbooking. And from scrapbooking, it was the year 2000 that I went into card making. Somebody took me into their basement and they showed me their entire collection of everything, and they got me heat embossing. And so I've been crafty. I can put things together. I can hot glue like it's nobody's business. I can decoupage. I can do all that kind of stuff. But when it came to card making, I would have to say I'm not very crafty or creative. It's taken years of experience to be able to like look at a card on the wall and then completely use different product and make it look amazing, just like the other card did, but just using all different product. I have developed that ability. You have to almost, with the amount of cards that we create and design here on a monthly basis, especially in the month of June when it was the Stampin' Fun on the Sun on top of the Palooza. I think we designed 50 cards that month, it seemed. And you have to be able to look at a card that you have from the past or on Pinterest and then totally switch it up, but get inspired from it. Like that's definitely what I've picked up on. Hi, Bobby McPherson. Hi, Kay Weir. Okay, so I hope that answers your question. But it's hard sometimes to get ideas. I will say that. All right, so we have our drinks cut out already, and we've got our tabletop, and we have our envelope and our inside. All right, so let's grab our pieces out of here. Oh, that's the scrapyard. Oh, I'm so excited yesterday, you guys. I was a little behind on the 8 ball with getting the Paper Palooza videos done, but I finished the last one at 12:47 yesterday, I think. So I was really happy. So for those of you that are doing the Paper Palooza, you guys would have seen the email. If you looked at your email, I emailed out yesterday all the links for the videos. So that was awesome. Oh man, that was an accomplishment to get those 21 cards designed, kitted, and videos done. So it was great to work with Amanda on that. All right. So this guy, let's start with him. This is the outside piece, and we're gonna go like that, and let's do a little gluing. So there's, oh, you know what? Well, there is no ribbon that goes behind, but sometimes I like to not cut until I want to make sure that it's the right length. So what we're gonna do is put this one down. That's my envelope flap. We're gonna put this one down first. Like that. All right, and then this guy will go next. And I think what we're gonna do is put a little line of glue. And what I love teaching you guys is how to put your cards together, right? So that you don't struggle bus it. And the easier it is to put your cards together and the more you become accustomed to assembly of cards, it really helps to make it fun to create and design on your own, because you know the tips and the tricks for assembly. All right, so now I want to make sure if this is longer, I could always trim it. Oh, that looks so tasty too. Okay, stop looking at it, right? So you could trim this if you needed to, but since I'm good to go, I'm gonna get this onto the front of my card, and as long as I'm at it, we're going to put this on the inside, and I have an envelope flap here. And I'm pretty certain my envelope flap was the right length. So we're gonna get a little glue on that guy. And I don't know if you guys noticed this. I like to take this corner and I like to pick up and get a dot of glue on it. And that takes me to the corner then. And then usually that means that at least that one corner is got just a little bit of glue on it. All right. All right, so that's ready to go. This one needs to go on to, when is the July class reveal? Don, it's tomorrow around 3:30 to 4 o'clock or Saturday morning. It depends on when Carissa wraps up her classes in the Hive tomorrow. She has class starting, I think, at 1:30, and if she's done by 3:30, I'm going to try to get it done. If she's not done until 4 or 5, I don't know, 4, I might have to do it first thing Saturday morning. So I have one more class to design, so I'm guessing you didn't catch that in the beginning, and it's the game night. Secret C ink is what we need here, and this Celebrate comes from a set called Bloomin' Phrases. So Bloomin' Phrases looks like this, right? So a lot of this stuff, you guys, this whole entire suite of products, you're not going to see it in the annual catalog. This Celebratory Sips, only like you can see it in paper copy, is here on the Beekeeper's Guide. It was right here. It's called Celebratory Sip Suite. And this suite actually comes with the gold ribbon, but we switched it up and we saved the gold ribbon to be for next month's Ink, Paper, Scissors, which is the this one, Floral Impressions is what we picked for next month. And we did include for this one the in color gems, and we picked these strawberry slush gems. Oh, sorry, these are holographic. We didn't pick those. We picked these in color gems to go with this class. So we didn't necessarily feature this whole suite, and we didn't even use these garden and glass. We didn't use the garden and glass embossing folders on this one either. Oops, now that I think about it. Next month we did use these strawberry gems though. So that's Celebratory Sips, but the Blooming Phrases, in case you guys are curious with that. So if you go to the stamps section in here, there's a section in here for stamps, and Blooming Phrases is page 42. You might miss this one if you don't see it in the online store, but it's pretty cool. Right here, it is here. And it's got different flowers in here, and then happy, thanks, birthday, celebrate, hello there, anniversary, just because, thinking of you. And what's great is that those can go across the front of your card like this. So in your kit here, there should have been a little white, oh, right there it is, a little white 1/2-inch strip. So we're gonna stamp that, but now that I have an envelope in my hand, let me just grab this. Yeah, and we definitely designed this class in a manner that you did not have to purchase the specific Cheers and Sips stamp set is what I'm trying to say. All right, so we got our envelope flap ready to go here. All right, so I still have this blue ink here, and look at me. I didn't get anything in it. All right. Pat Powell. So first time watching a live, how do I go about ordering a DSP booklet and signing up for some classes? Awesome, well, welcome. Thanks, Anna Carter, for welcoming Pat too. So the DSP sampler is available for purchase. So Pat, sometimes it's just easy. I don't, you know what? Oh man, I just realized I don't have my wares out here. Hang on. I have this thing right here. Oh my goodness, you guys. So here, Pat, this is what you're looking for. Sorry about that. Here's some information for you and anybody else who's new to watching me. Sorry I didn't have that out there. That's my email address, my website, where to order from, and how to enroll with classes. So let me just see what's on the inside here. Best wishes. Okay, very cool. We can handle best wishes. So I always tell people the easiest way to sign up for a class is to send me an email. Especially if you're newer to me, I like to make sure I get you on the right foot right off the bat. So this is going to go here, and then we're going to stamp the best wishes. You could also email cbcenroll@gmail.com. Carissa is who helps me monitor that that email address, and what she'll do is she'll stage the email for me and send it to me, and then I can proofread it and then tweak it and alter it just slightly if I need to make sure everything's on par. So I think that was crooked, so I'm gonna try again, right? We have 2 sides to the paper. All right, that turned out really good. Okay, we're gonna set you right there. I think we're done with the ink. On this one, it also uses strawberry ribbon, and there's a drink in there, and I think it's this drink right here. So we're gonna get him right off the bat, so we can do a little gluing here though. So the easiest way to sign up for a class is send me an email. If people want to use a credit card and buy classes via my website, you can. Just know that it always charges a convenience fee of $1, and it's like usually 4 or 5. It's 4%, right? So that's about $1 per $20. And if people like to save that money, like if I go to a restaurant and it is a 3% charge to use my credit card, I'll pay in cash, right? Because I'd rather save that. So that's something that businesses have been doing. And so all my prices that are generally noted are the price if paid with cash or electronically without a fee being imposed on me. But if you don't want that and you want to use a credit card, you could always pay for it via my website. So I already got the inside pink mat glued in, so now we can add this one. Oh, it looks nice. And then our drink for the inside here. And if anybody is interested in this class, I may or may not have any left. We're into the final stretch where there was potentially 1 or 2, but I need to go back and check emails because I always like to make sure the first person that asked for it has the ability to still get it versus asking the last person to get it, right? That's only fair. So at this point, I can't say. So if you do reach out to me tonight or tomorrow asking for this class, you may or may not have the opportunity to get it, right? It just depends. Because I know early on a couple gals reached out to me and said that they had already emailed me for it. So I made sure to get them in my book, but I don't know if anybody else did. So this drink is going to get glued in here. And yeah, so the DSP sampler, if you want information about the DSP sampler, what you could do is go to, I think that's what I have right here. Yep. So the DSP sampler is if you go to my events calendar at cardsbychrisb.com. So if you go, I don't even know if I have it on here. Yep, right here, events. Where do I have events? Let's see. If you go to that cardsbychrisb.com, I have it tagged to September 20. We got to toggle forward to May of 2025, and under May 6th, there's one for the designer series paper sampler. What's in the picture here is not what is current, but all the verbiage is current, right? But just know that the most recent one, it starts with botanical textures on the top, and it goes all the way through all of the color families. That's a bigger one. All right, so let's get our drink on. Kenzie, drink. Jamie, drink. All right, this one, we're gonna pop up all of these, right? Good, Pat. I'm glad that that made sense. I always tell people that I do a lot of classes, and people tell me it can be overwhelming. And so I try to tell people not to be overwhelmed, just to always reach out to me. My phone number is right there. I do answer the phone. I'm not a robot. People, it's so funny when people call me. They're like, always expecting to get, like, not you. I'm like, well, I don't have anybody else that answers my phone. so it's funny. Like, yeah, if you call, I answer. And now if it says that if it says that it's a spammer, I don't always answer that. If it says spammer, it's like, nope, I'm going to let that one go to voicemail. And I'm not very good at checking my voicemails, everybody. So if you ever have to leave me a voicemail, it's better to leave me a text message. And then this guy's gonna go right about here. I was kind of haphazardly choppy on this, so I'm gonna just smooth him out. That was not the best job I could do cutting him. All right, so I'm gonna leave a little bit like a finger width here, and then I've got a good finger width and a half, and I'm going up a little bit there. All right, now with this guy, we need a little tear and tape across the back, and that is for our ribbon to hang on to. Oh, good grief. Kenzie, it was your idea. I'm just trying to make sure that you hold your end of the deal, end of the bargain. Okay, so underneath the brat, we're underneath the brat here. Jamie, Pat, she's doing a July showcase. Oh, thanks, tomorrow to watch and decide what you want. And she'll, oh, perfect. That is exactly it. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely try to. I'm at the point now where you guys, I used to do weekly shipments back when I first started in March. Well, when I started doing online and doing shipping in March of 2020, right? I don't. It was more like April even too. I think my first time I ever shipped classes was game night in May of 2020, and I bought a little dino label maker and all that good stuff, and I would do weekly shipments. Every class that I had 1 week of class, one class a week, and we did weekly packages. And you guys would ask, "Can I just have everything all at once?" And I'm like, "No, it's too stressful to try to manage that." And look at us now doing one shipment a month, and it works like a charm. We got a good process in place. I didn't have good process in place in the beginning, and over time we've gotten so like a well-oiled machine. So let's just test this out. So I'm gonna think, oh man, I did that way too close. I wanted it more like here. So either I can move this over and trim off a little here so I don't have to redo it. And I think then I'm gonna let it be. So let's just trim a hair off of here. I think I can do about 1/8 inch. And the other thing I can do is move this drink over. So if you didn't push this down, oh, the beekeeper's guide. Okay, so Pat, if you're asking about my beekeeper's guide, let me just see once where this is gonna go. Right here, I'm gonna move that over. If you're asking about my beekeeper's guide, this document right here, this guy is my beekeeper's guide. I provide this to my community who supports me by taking classes. I cannot charge for it. It is free, but it's 3 thresholds. If you're on my team, the Be Happy Stampers, there's no charge. You get it for being on my team. If you're a demonstrator on somebody else's team, not my team, then if you support me with $50 since January, then you get it for free. And that's $50 of any combination, an order or buying classes from me. It's really whatever. And then if you're not a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, then I would call you my customer, an amazing customer, and it's $100 threshold for customers. So we'd give a little deal to the demonstrators because we don't want you to take away from keeping yourself active, but we put a lot of time and energy into the book, so we like to, Kelly spends countless hours doing it, right? So we want to make sure that her time is not taken for granted, and I gotta compensate her, right? So by supporting me in my business, that is a way that I can kind of indirectly get her compensated. So yay. All right, I got glue on here, so let's get that off. Perfect. And that, you saw what I did is I put a dimensional in the middle there, and I put one on the end over here. And then that's flat, and that's flat in the middle. All right, so that's it for the ribbon. And this one, you could definitely pull in your Secret C and your strawberry slush gems. Don't have to be something special for the guide. Don't have to be something special for the guide. I don't know if that means anything. I don't know if that's a question or if you're asking. So we're gonna do a gem. Let's see, I got 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll definitely do a blue over here. I like that. And then we'll do so the pink on the pink doesn't really show very much, but I don't think it hurts. Let's put that here. And put a blue one with it. And then the blue's not gonna show up very much on there. So we'll put a pink and another pink down there. All right. So the gems are really pretty. So Sarah Douglas just did a video for demonstrators called The Inside Story. And I guess the #1 embellishment that has been sold this year is this gem in particular. So that's pretty cool. We aided and contributed to the sale of this. And anybody who did in-color clubs, that was always, that's usually what we provide in in-color clubs, or I definitely did. Don't forget to Stella. Pat, Christmas is awesome. Christine is awesome. She will help you learn the ropes. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Anna. So let's Stella up our drinky drinks. Oh, man, I love it. Okay, so ribbon scissors is done. I think the paper scissors is done. That one should be good. I think we got the inside in. The envelope flap is good to go. So we've got what is it, 8:05? Oh, we didn't do too bad. Because we chatted a lot on the front end, but we got our cards made in about an hour and 15 minutes. That's not so bad. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Cheryl. So I know you did, Anna. I read it, and then I reread it, and then I knew what you meant. So we're all good. All right, I have to also say with this, guys, when you get the edge of your designer series paper and it looks like this, you can still utilize this. I might just, so this looks really kind of weird to me. I'm trying to debate what I would do. Well, this one, what you could do for this, so let's just look at this. You could, I don't mean to cut, just to cut, fussy cut here, but I want to show you what you could potentially do with this one, because you're thinking it's a waste, right? Because it's on the edge of your paper and you only got a part of a drink and you're like, man, what am I going to do with that? Right? So now you've just cut it out, okay? So pretend you're opening up your card, especially this one right here. And let's say I want to put this one here. You could have put this drink and skip this jazz. You could have just put this drink right in the bottom corner like that. So to get a better handle on that, like that is over there, you could have skipped all that jazz and just put this guy right down there, right? And that would have fit nice in the corner, like it's coming onto the page. So don't fret if you get this kind of stuff. Even this one right here, what you could do with this one, and just give you an idea, this one could have been down here, right? So that could, oh, let's grab our purple one, right? So the purple one, you could have had that. So let's pretend this is not here. You could have put this right in the bottom, right? So you could have used this guy too. So very good. All right, let's see here. So just some tips on that. You've got this one, which should be good to go. Another cute card. Good, good. I loved these. So this class is what made me fall in love with this suite of products. Again, I first saw it. I was not overly impressed with it. And like with a lot of other things, once you start playing with it and designing with it and actually utilizing the stuff, it's like, oh man, that stuff is really cool. I love it. This was our last card that we did, and I just was so happy with it. So that's what I got. 4 cards for you guys for the ink, paper, scissors featuring Cheers and Sips bundle and Celebratory Sips designer series paper. Again, the tutorial is not quite done, but for those that want to get going on this class that got your kits, hopefully you can see which drinks need to be cut out, and by watching the tutorial or even speeding through it after, and later after it's on replay, you can speed through it a little bit and watch how things are put together. Sometimes you can just see things, and sometimes you need to like actually stop and pause it and get going. Hopefully this is enough to get you going. You had to tap out laughing out loud. It's only 7 here in Utah. Yeah, you're an hour behind. Oh, I love it. So, all right. So what I have is, yeah, Kelly did a great job on that beekeeper's guide. Oh, and Pat said I just explained it. Good, good, good. Don't I have to be something special for the guide? Pat, okay, good. Yeah, I talked about that, so we're good to go. Yeah, it's always good to talk about that stuff, you guys. And I often, I don't always stay abreast that if I have a new customer that just placed an order with me and it was over $50, sometimes I catch that, but anybody is always welcome to send a request for that beekeeper's guide. Say, hey, I just ordered over $50 from you. I'm a demonstrator. Can I get access to the beekeeper's guide? I'll look and I'll confirm it and I'll be like, yep, you're in. And sometimes I'm not always initiating that, and I'd rather make sure the beekeeper's guide is in people's hands that have qualified for it, and I don't, it's been hard to stay afloat. That wheel is spinning and spinning and spinning, and it hasn't gotten too out of control, but it's hard to insert more things into it. So if people are looking for that beekeeper's guide and you've earned it, do not hesitate to reach out to me. Sometimes I don't catch right away that I can do that homework to check. So if you tell me, like, it was a perfect example with Gwen Goda last week. Oh my gosh. She had requested it and she had to say, I get the inspiration high from you. It's like, oh yeah, thank you. Like, I sometimes don't have the 20 minutes to go look something up, but if a customer tells me and I can look it up in 2 minutes, I'm like, boom, done. Answers solved, mystery solved. I don't have to sit there and try to hunt for answers, right? So I need that help, you guys. I remember a lot of things, but I can't remember everything all the time. So yeah, I definitely try though. Okay, so I have a few things. We have finally, I pulled some cards here, you guys. This was from the Spotlight on Nature class. Don't laugh, but it was July 22nd of last year, and got some winners picked. So when you guys comment in videos, we are very far behind, but I have here July 22nd, Spotlight on Nature. We made these 4. That must go here. We have 3 beautiful cards that were made. You guys can always go back and watch this video to see this card in action, or this class in action. I do not have any of the kits left. They were sold out. The PDF tutorial is available, but I do have winners, okay? So winner, chicken dinner. Oh, you haven't heard from Kelly. I'll have to reach out to her. She was actually here today. I wonder if, I will have her reach out to you. So Nancy, I thought you were, I think I just forwarded it to Kelly. I'll have to reach out to her. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. You think I should have that on my top of my head. Sunshine something. But first winner, winner chicken dinner goes to Faye Godby. Faye, I think you were on earlier tonight, maybe, or maybe I said your name off on roll call. Okay, but Faye will get that one. And then this card goes to Mary Lemke. Mary, I'm not certain if you're still watching, but you're going to be the winner of that card. And winner chicken dinner of this card goes to Mary Schreiber. Yay! So that's perfect. So I know Mary Lemke and Faye Gabi. I'm going to put your cards off on the back counter. I will be adding these to your July class package, right, to save a stamp or 2. And then Mary Schreiber, I will mail your card because I know you're a faithful watcher. So yay! Awesome. Okay, so that's that. And then we're also going to do a little random number door prize drawing for somebody who purchased this class. And what I will, let me think about this. My phone is downstairs, but I have a random number generator right there. Okay, so we had, in my book, 68, because I did add Deb and I added Yvette. So 68 is what's going here. And when I click, and you know what, we're going to do 2 scoops. So I'm going to click generate. 68! Holy Yvette Lopez, you are a lucky duck. Oh my goodness, good job, girlfriend. All right, so you guys, it does happen that you get the first and the last numbers in these things. Number 2 scoops! Oh my gosh, Connie Moore. I love it. All right, I'm putting arrows next to your names. I will have some door prizes for you. They will also, so how I do door prizes, I put them into your next class package. And Yvette, it's so funny because you'll have to let me know, Yvette, if you want this class by itself or if you want to wait to see what's going on in July and then have it held to your July class package, and then your door prize will be in with that. And Connie, I will make sure that your prize is in with your July class package. July shipping date was moved to the 15th, you guys. So just know that if you are, and here's a question I should ask you guys. Would you guys like me to postpone game night until later in the month so that you guys might have your kits in time? So July 15th is going to roll by and we'll have had game night and we'll probably have had monthly card. So 2 classes might have been passed by that time. And I don't know if you guys are good with waiting to get kits. I know I had some people reach out to me the last time and wanted their game nights shipped ahead. So but they weren't getting anything else for the month. And so I'm not going to be ready to, I got to see if my calendars are on. I think game night, let's see where the calendar is. Game night isn't set until it's July 10th. And we won't be kitting game night until the 7th, 8th, 9th. I mean, we'll have to have it kitted by the 10th. And I think I have Lucky Hand on the 9th. But I wondered if, so we'll have it kitted by the 9th in time for class, in-person class. But with that being said, I will not be able to ship any game nights ahead of time. So nobody that's doing the online version with me, if I keep it for the 10th, would be able to make cards with me. Where last time we were able to mail it out a little bit early. It's just, you guys, I go to Maryland with Tyler to visit some friends out there, and we don't get back until the 6th. And we kit then 7th, 8th, 9th. And then by then, I go on the 11th to Appleton for an all-day event. And the 12th is a Saturday. I have a bridal shower, and then I don't make my help come and help me on Sunday, right? And then Monday we have two back-to-back classes. So we have set the shipping day to be the 15th. So I guess I was curious where everybody's at. Like if you'd like me to look at pushing the date for game night out a little bit, I could. Game night later in the month works. So what I would do is I'd have to figure out what day I could do it. If it's like a Friday at 5 or a Friday at 3, I guess I'd have to look. But you guys don't hesitate to send me an email or a text or a Facebook message and just say, hey, I vote for game night to be later in the month and have our kit for it potentially. And I will definitely then look at rescheduling the 10th and maybe not having class that night and maybe pushing it to later in the month. So later is better, Debbie Gass. Limby says later works. Okay, later works. Because we're coming out of 4th of July weekend, right? And so a lot of people have a lot of stuff going on. And then what we might not have is class that night on the Thursday, the 10th, and we'd push it out to a different day and time that is around the same time. I just have to look at my calendar then and see what works. Later works, maybe even in August. Okay. Well, if you tell me August, I'm not going to design it tomorrow. And I'll definitely have the showcase tomorrow. But I'm going to push to get it designed and done because you guys, I'm a procrastinator by nature. So I like to not like leave things lingering. And we have a Stamp-a-Stack in August. So I think that I'll look at the calendar, you guys, and I'll see what I can find. But knowing now that you guys would do later, for all those that are watching, if later works, I might just do that. So I look for a day later in July, because then knowing that the shipping is the 15th, you might have your stuff in time for then. Because if I ship on the 15th, you guys will have it in time for Let's Just Stamp most likely, and then ink, paper, scissors, and the sweet class, right? So potentially then game night too. So there's only the order-based class you won't have, and then the monthly class, I'm guessing. So, I have to look to see what is July 24th. I don't have my calendar with me. It's on the dining room table downstairs. So, but I'll definitely look for that. Oh, Faye Goppy is watching. Faye, did you hear that you were a winner chicken dinner? Oh, Jennifer Knutson says later is okay too. All right. So the general consensus I'm getting is that later is good. Game night is bingo with making cards. Thanks for answering that. So it is a form of bingo per se, but we call it stamp. And you pick 5 lucky numbers between 1 and 30, and you tell me your numbers ahead of time when you register and pay for class. And then what happens is during the night of the class, I have all these 30 numbers upside down, and I start randomly picking them and calling off the number. And if you get 5 of your numbers picked before anybody else, then you can pick from the prizes, right? So and then what happens is we play a game, make a card, game card, unless Kelly's got to leave by a certain time, then we might play all the games ahead of time before she leaves, and then we might make a card or 2 after she leaves. So yeah, perfect. You guys, I love it. Thanks for answering the questions and helping me out with that. So Jean Shoot goes back and watches my past older videos. Absolutely, you guys. So one of the things that I heard when I started doing my videos, so I used to only do in-person classes prior to COVID, right? So from March prior, it was always in-person only. And what would happen is I'd have a room of 14 people, and a person on one side of the room would ask a question. I would go over by them and help them. And then the next person on the other side of the room would ask maybe the same or a different question. I'd go help them. And I'd be ping-ponging back and forth, helping people make their cards one-on-one, like assistance. And it was when I started doing my lives and they started watching me on the lives, they said that they learned so much more from me watching the lives that I do, because they got to see everything from start to finish. And now my in-person community that comes to class, they're like that. And it's only when a new person comes in and they have never stamped before that then that person needs the one-on-one assistance. But my in-person crowd that has been coming, my community that's been coming for years, they are like the best stampers, you guys. It's amazing how they're just, you don't have to tell them anything, like, you know, like high level stuff, and then it's like, then they might ask a question about like, what about this or what about this, and then you tell them. But it's not like it used to be where it was more dedicated in person. So the 24th is a Thursday, but you guys, do I not have anything else on the calendar? So here's what we're gonna do. Pat Powell, I think, here's a little trick, Pat. I have a calendar on my website, cardsbychrisb.com, and the calendar can be found by going to the resources. So resources, and then the second link down is called calendar. and I would do a little look at this and see if July 24th, I don't have anything. Oh my gosh, you know why? That's perfect, you guys. Good job, you guys, for finding that. I think Jamie might have said that first. So I normally go camping the 24th through the 27th. I usually camp that weekend. And so that's why I don't have class here or here. And I originally had this up here, and I moved it to here when I ended up going to Appleton that day or I'm going to Appleton. We're actually going camping this week. So can you see here, you guys? I don't have class the 6th, the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, or the 10th. I'm going camping. We moved it out 2 weeks. So yes, I think that, you guys, it's safe to say that I'll move game night from the 10th to the 24th, right? And Kelly's doing paper pumpkin in the morning instead of at the night. So that's perfect, you guys. So I think that answered that question, that game night will get moved to the 24th, all right? So now it's communicating that to everybody. So, and getting the calendar updated. So we'll go ahead and do that. So perfect. And then you guys will have your kits in time. That's perfect. I said perfect 3 times because I really think it is. All right. And drink one more time, Kenzie. Do you still want me to send an email to Carissa? No, Deb, you don't. Your comment just popped up here. You do not need to send an email to Carissa. I will be good to go. I'll get it on the tracker and I'll set it off to the side. What I don't know if you mentioned, Deb, is you want me to mail out the kit right away, or was there anything else that you needed mailed with it? So that would be my only question that I would have. Or if you wanted it to wait until July's shipping date, but I'm guessing not because that's 3 weeks out. You're perfect, Jamie. I don't have anything else on my calendar. You're perfect. So the only thing that, even though I don't have things on my calendar, that doesn't necessarily mean I have personal things in my life that I do. So, but I don't have anything else going on the 24th. So that is the perfect day. Debbie said she watched 2 classes from 2023, and one was the inception of Share, Create, Inspire, and the other was Angelique and Jenna's first class. Okay, so Debbie Gass, I still think back to the first Share, Create, Inspire class and how my armpits were so like sweaty because I was so nervous about that first class and what I was doing. And I think my heart pounded a lot because I was a little bit uncertain about how that class was going to go. So right away if possible. Okay, sounds good, Deb. I will make sure. I'll try to get it mailed tomorrow or by Saturday. That will be my plan. Okay? All right. So very good. I hope I got everything. If I missed anything, you guys don't hesitate to reach out to me. And we got lots of things figured out. Life is good. I have a plan to wake up in the morning to work on designing the game night cards using the in-color paper, and that excites me, you guys. You know, it really does. The tweed twill paper, whatever that was, just might sit on the back burner for a couple more months and bring it out in the fall. So, yay. It didn't have a bright and cheerful cookie jar, sweetest jar in line with it. So, all right, you guys. I'm not going to keep chit-chatting. I'll let you go. Enjoy the rest of your night. Lots of sunshine, love, and big hugs to you. Thanks for hanging out with me on your Thursday night or whenever you ended up watching this. I greatly appreciate your support of my amazing craziness. So, all right, you guys, love you. Bye.